Hi, my name is Sharon and I am a nutritional therapist. And what I'd like to talk to you today about is energy, and specifically energy to fuel your fitness, whatever level it is that you're involved in. I work with people that are involved in fitness at various levels. So whether it's going to the gym, or whether it's team sports or running, or whether it's yoga or anything, everything involves energy. And what I found is really important is that rather than guessing and figuring out an approximation of how much energy we need. It's really important actually, and it makes it so much easier if you can really drill down and figure out how much energy do I need and what foods do I need to provide that energy so that I am maximizing whatever it is I'm doing. Excuse me. And very often what I find, which might sound surprising, is that a lot of us, and I would have to say especially women who tend to be juggling a lot of different aspects in their lives, tend to underfuel. And how you know you might be underfueling, and it's that maybe it's time to start looking at what's going in versus what's coming out, is how you are feeling. How you're feeling on day-to-day levels. So how much energy you have, if you're feeling tired than normal, if you don't feel maybe as sharp as you were, if your mood is dipping, if your whatever activities you're involved in, either your day-to-day activities of cooking, shopping, looking after kids, or whether it is your sessions at the gym or your yoga practice, whether you feel that it's taking a lot more out of you, or you're not developing as you would like to through your activity practice. So they're all initial signs that maybe the first thing that I would be looking at is, well, what's your fuel like? Are you getting in enough, and enough of the right balance between carbohydrates, fats, and protein, as well as the micronutrients? And it's almost in a way, an analogy that I kind of use is if you've got a hedge that needs clipping, and you go out and buy a sort of a cheap hedge clippers, it'll probably, get you by on like clipping the top few leaves, but it's not going to give a really good deep cut to the hedge that it needs to be looking as good as it can be and to fuel further growth. And in a way, that's a bit like what happens when you provide inadequate fuel, or not the right kind of fuel, is that you'll get by, but you'll struggle and you'll be dragging yourself through your day. And that impacts everything, both yourself and people that you're in community with. And it's really, as I say, the best way to kind of figure out whether you're fueling yourself adequately is to be quite mathematical about it. And so on a really basic level, when you're figuring out how much energy do I need in a day, you look at what do I need to, it's called your basal or your resting metabolic rates. What do I need to actually live? Because believe it or not, 60 to 70% of what we take in energy, in other words, what we eat, it's actually used to just keep us alive. So our brain is incredibly expensive in terms of the amount of energy it requires. Our heart, all our muscles, our digestive, lungs, all our organs. There are literally billions of chemical reactions happening inside our body all the time at any one time, and they all require energy. So even before we put one toe on a yoga mat, we're using a lot of energy. And I'll show you a few examples. I'm going to share a screen, but I'll just show you actually now. So if you just bear with me, I will. This one, how much energy do I need? So there are equations where you could, and actually you can Google this. This is the equation down here, and it looks maybe a little bit complicated. I mean, it's not really. Having said that, I use the Nutritic software package in my practice, but giving you the example of, say, a 30-year-old female who weighs 60 kilograms and is 167 centimeters in height, she will need, just to stay alive, 1,335 calories. Now, if you add on top of that, if she is doing any form of exercise, now you can be really, really specific about this, which I like to do if I'm working with an individual, but on a general population basis, again, there are formulas. It's called your physical activity level. Now that will hugely vary between individuals. But again, they're called multipliers. So taking somebody who might be doing a gentle form of yoga, maybe 1 to 3 times a week, you would multiply this number up here, your BMR, by this multiplier, say 1.35. You can see light activity 1 to 3 times a week. So say you're multiplying that by to figure out how much you need to actually fuel your yoga practice. Now, this would be a very gentle exercise, and the chances are many of you are doing a lot more. You might be doing yoga, and you might be doing running, and you might be doing various other things, but this is just an example. So you multiply that, and then you add another 10% calories on top of that, which is what you need to actually digest your food. So taking the example of that 30-year-old female, she will need, once I've put in the activity level based on that light activity and the effect of digesting your food, she will need about 2,000 calories, which is kind of the classic number of what you think. And that is for her to just have enough so that she can do her yoga and perform her day-to-day activities and have enough and just maintain a healthy weight, the weight that she's at. And what I often find, surprisingly, is that if we're in a position, and again, it's very often, very busy mums maybe who are on the road a lot, tend to skip meals, tend to feed everybody, but then figure out, well, what did I actually have lunch today? What did I have for my breakfast? And it might be on the go and have no idea how much they ate. But very often they have the symptoms of people that are under fueling. So once you have this kind of base, and it's actually really important to actually do this for yourself, because you may find that if you're doing a lot more activity than this, that your calorie need will be a lot higher. And so you will need a lot more fuel going in. And again, of course, it's the right kind of fuel. But once you have kind of figured out for yourself, okay, this is the amount of fuel that I need, the next thing to figure out is how much am I actually getting in my diet? And it makes things so much easier and takes the whole angst out of, is this good food? Is it bad food? Should I be eating this? Is it am I eating too much, too little, or whatever? Forget the guesswork, because it just makes things it really increases anxiety for a lot of people. So just figure out how much you need. And you can, again, I use the Nutritic software, but there are free apps out there where you can track your food, and it gives you, it's not super, super accurate, but it gives you an idea if you're kind of hitting the ballpark. So the likes of MyFitnessPal, and it'll put every single thing down that you eat and drink. And that you'll get a good idea, okay, I know this is what I need to fuel my life, basically all my activities, and to stay alive and healthy. And this is what I'm getting in. And then you can start adjusting and making, maybe you're totally hitting it, fine, which is great, keep doing that. But if you're either over or under, it can really answer a lot of questions for you, that, things that you might be feeling, maybe you figure, okay, I need to lose a bit of weight, or maybe that's why I'm not losing weight, or actually that's why I'm feeling exhausted all the time. I need to increase what I'm eating. And so the next thing then is, how do we actually fuel it? And I'm going to really concentrate on a macronutrient here, and that is the body's preferred source of fuel for fueling activity is carbohydrate. Now, of course, we need the other two, but I'm really going to concentrate on carbohydrates because, like, I would say a huge proportion of people that I see, their carbohydrate is too low, and they're dragging themselves through their day. And of course, and carbohydrates, if like, again, if you come back to this example of the 60-year-old, or sorry, the 30-year-old female who's 60 kilograms in weight. And if she's doing, say, 3 hours a week or whatever, she would need, how much carbohydrate would she need? And she would need about 4 to 5 grams of carbohydrate per kilogram weight. So if you work that out, you will get a figure in or about 250 grams of carbohydrate. And I'm just going to show you now what that might look like. Let me just close this one off. And carbohydrate content. So you'll see in this here, this gives you an idea, say, taking that somebody will need, again, to fuel themselves so that they're feeling on top of their game, they're able to get through their day, and do their exercise and feel good, and still have energy and not be like experiencing a lot of fatigue. This gives you an idea of the carbohydrate content. Again, these are healthy meals. So you have, you can see that they're like a bowl of muesli, 45 grams, and it's 60 grams, which is, a decent amount. And just have a look there and you'll see that, healthy foods have a good level of carbohydrate, but not excessive. If I just scroll down here, say a fruit scone or a bar of Cadbury's Boost. Again, they have like a similar amount, but we're not getting really anything from these. The fruit scone is 50 grams, a bar of Cadbury's Boost, 30 grams of carbohydrate. And these, yes, will obviously these come with a lot of sugar. They will give us that boost initially, but they're not healthy. They're not going to give us anything lasting. Now they're fine now and again, but just I suppose my message here is do not be afraid of carbohydrates. The body needs carbohydrates. The brain needs carbohydrates. Just choose wisely, but make sure you're getting enough. I'm talking now about the general population. Obviously, there are some reasons why you might go for a more high fat, very low carb or low carb diet. But this is just for the general population. And so just leaving that back there. So my message is, in summary, figure out having energy is kind of one of the basic things that we need to live a good life, to put it bluntly. When we're really tired and really struggling, we're not feeling our best. We're not able to. We have nothing left over. We have nothing left in the tank to actually really thrive. And I'm not even going as far as women who, when they are really under fueling, period stop, because that's or menstruation stop. So that is a very serious development. So I'm not even talking about that far. So, but rather than guessing and feeling anxious about wondering, am I overeating, undereating, or whatever, do the maths. You can come to somebody like me, and I'll you put it through the software and develop a plan. But a lot you can actually do yourself. So figure out what your basic metabolic rate is. You have the formula, and again, Google will do the calculations for you. Estimate what your physical activity level is. Again, you can find that on Google, and then add on about 10% for the thermic effect of food. It's called, basically what it costs you in energy to break down, to digest your food. So that's what you need. And then use one of the free apps and figure out how much am I actually getting on a day-to-day basis. And you'll have different needs on different days. And just see what that shows up for you. And you may find that some of the answers to issues that you might be having are addressed there without going into anything any deeper. So I hope you found this useful. And if you have any questions, my number is below, I think, or I'll put it there with the video. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.